Hi, my name is Dr. John Ripoli, and today we're talking about following your bliss. And that term comes to us from the late, great mythological writer Joseph Campbell. And his claim to fame was really the monomyth or the hero's journey. The idea is that all the traditions, all the cultures, all the great religions in the world are all in essence going through the same thing. And we're all talking about, in different ways, the same thing. The idea here is that instead of looking for the differences, we're looking for the equivalents. We go through this hero's journey where we are in a place of uncomfortableness. We metaphorically leave home. We enter into the world and go into these trials and tribulations. But we learn a message, and then we bring this message metaphorically back home. It's kind of the idea of Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz. The answer all along was right within her. All she had to do was to snap her ruby slippers and she would be able to go back home. And that is a classic idea of showing us this monomyth in action. So one of the key components of understanding our bliss, our dharma, our purpose, our mission in life is because if we don't know what it is that we want, it's impossible to get that which we want. So some questions that we can simply ask ourselves, right, is why do we do what we do? If we had all the time and we had all the money in the world, what would we be doing right now? Brendan Burchard, the author of The Millionaire Messenger, says on our deathbed we'll ask ourselves three very important questions. Did I live? Did I love? And did I matter? And these are really important questions. We spend more time in the grocery store making decisions. We spend more time in a department store making decisions, or what TV show we should be watching, than answering these very important questions. It would almost be analogous, right, to going into a car without any idea of where you're going. And there is a law, though, of paradoxical intent, because we do want to know what our mission is and our purpose and our dharma is, because we want to use that as our moral compass as we go throughout life. But we do not want to get attachment to the goals. We want to make sure that we go through this journey and experience the present moment. Experience without the attachment for that particular goal. As we figure out and we answer these questions of what our purpose is and our dharma and our bliss, what will happen is we're going to create an alignment of mind and body. So we become a superconductor for consciousness as it flows through our body. And our mind, which is simply our thoughts, direct our feelings and emotions, which is our body, to the right types of behaviors and actions which ultimately lead to our desired outcome. It uncovers our self-potential, it uncovers our true nature, and it uncovers our true character. On the flip side, we have unalignment. And unalignment is we close ourselves and we don't become a conductor of this consciousness. We walk around aimlessly. We have negative thought patterns. The mind then creates negative feelings and emotions which ultimately lead to the wrong actions, the wrong behaviors. And this leads to the wrong outcomes. This reflects our persona or our mask. This, of course, is our personality. With alignment, it doesn't mean that we don't have fear. It doesn't mean that we don't have negative emotions. However, we don't harbor them. We let them come, we don't judge them, and then we let them pass out. As we increase this alignment and we understand our true purpose and our dharma, we begin to create a new world. Abraham Maslow talks about hierarchy of needs, and he's quoted with saying, "What you can be, you must be." And the idea here is that there are basic human needs that we all need, like air and food and water, security. We need love. We need the ability to be recognized. But at the top of this pyramid is this idea of self-actualization. And he says, just like food and water, the idea of uncovering our truest potential, our truest self, is a basic need. And if we deny ourselves that, we can never truly be 100% happy. When I look at people who come into, say, our office, or friends or family, who have the ability to walk through life in going into the forest, the darkest part, going into the forest where there is no path, meaning they are truly following their own calling, what we see is that they have this alignment. We also see that they're extremely clear on what it is that they want. They have superordinate goals. They go from the I to the we to the collective consciousness to the cosmos to the idea of that we are all working together so that there's this greater value in what they're doing. They have courage. And courage is not that they don't have fear or they don't do always things that they want to do, but they're doing it in spite of it. And they keep moving on. The law of attraction is not simply an intellectual idea of just saying, I want this. It's actually becoming that. It's being, doing, and having. It is that direct alignment. So we can apply this by looking at some steps that could help us to create change and uncover our highest potential. The first one is about awareness. And the idea here is that maybe we don't need to do anything right away, but we simply just need to create this enormous boiling point, uncomfortableness, and we go throughout the day and we look at our thoughts, our negative emotions and feelings and whatever actions we're taking. We simply just ask ourselves, is this nurturing or is this toxic? Is this nurturing or is this toxic? And we're creating this momentum of feeling uncomfortable that we metaphorically want to start this hero's journey and leave home and begin to create a new self. The second part of this, within this awareness idea, is that we recognize that we are not the thoughts in our head. You know, a lot of people become addicted to playing bad movies over and over again. And the idea here is that we are truly not the thoughts in our head. We are the person behind those thoughts. Right? There's another dimension to our being. The second idea here, as we move from awareness, is really, again, formulating this idea of purpose and dharma, and going a step further to say, what are the qualities or attributes that you want to emulate that are found in other people? Do some people have a certain amount of characteristics like wisdom and love and self-respect that we want to emulate? And the idea here again is that if you don't know what it is that you want, you can't mimic it or you can't obtain it. So we're being clear on our destination and not wandering around aimlessly. The third idea is really a paradigm shift. And what we're doing here is reframing the stories that we've told in the past, and we're reframing the stories that we currently tell ourselves now. We separate facts from our opinions of the events and the people that we know. In other words, we have two ways that we can look at the world. We can look at it through this victim archetype mentality, where everything is a poor me, we create unalignment, we're getting these negative thoughts and feelings, emotions, and behaviors and so forth. Or we can reframe everything and understand the message and look at it through the world of the divine. And the idea here is that no matter what happens to us, it's not that we're dismissing bad things that happen, but we're looking through it. We're transcending through it to find the message, to find the meaning, so that we can grow. The idea again here is primarily that if we have the opportunity to play a bad movie or a really great movie, why not choose to play the great movie? And the last portion of this is habituation. We know that our brain fires and wires together repetitively as we repeat things over and over again. So we want to habituate our mind. We want to wake up every morning and begin journaling our mission statement. Even though we intellectualize it, we want to get it from the ether to the complete manifest by writing it down and journaling it every day. We want to then habituate our actions and behaviors. This concept of following our bliss, our passion, and our heart is so important because no matter what it is that we have, we need, or whatever it is our purpose is, we all need our health. And so we can begin to say choose this salad over this hamburger primarily because we're doing it for the greater good, not because of deprivation, but we're understanding that this is what's going to take in order for us to achieve our values, our purpose, and our dharma. Thank you so much for listening, and if you haven't, when you finish this, get a pen and paper out and write down what it is that makes you tick. Thanks so much.